Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rachelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right Podcast. I'm your host, Malcom Reed, joined by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Southern Shell. Shell, how's it going?
Great. It's going wonderful. You want to jump right in, talk about our Palmer Home campaign?
That's right. Talk about the Palmer Home. We got the Palmer Home kicked off. It actually kicked off like Memorial Day weekend, so we're 2 weeks in.
And it's going through Labor Day. We're trying to raise money for the Palmer Home. We're trying to feed 2 families this year, so anything you can donate would be great. If you're interested in donating, go to HowToBBQRight.com/Palmer, Palmer. And what's going to happen for the top 5 fundraisers, Mal? Let's talk about that event.
We're having a pig picking here at the shop this fall. It'll probably be in November sometime. It cools down.
We've set the date.
We're not going to do it next week when it's hot.
No.
But yeah, that's what it is. We've always wanted to do something special for all the people that help us raise money for Palmer Home. I know y'all have heard us talk about the Palmer Home, but it's a local organization here that does a great job taking care of kids when they're displaced for their families for whatever reason. They try to replace them back with their family when the time's right, but they take good care of them in the meantime, and it takes money to do it. So we took it upon ourselves to help raise money for it, and that's what your donations are going to. They're going to help, and the people that donate, it's like a campaign. You call it a campaign. Basically, you're starting up your own team on it. And I guess it tracks you how much money you raise, and the people that donate through your links raise.
Yes.
And the top 5 that raise the most are going to get to come here and hang out with us and have that pig picking. They're going to learn they're going to learn how to cook a whole hog with us and eat it and all the good stuff that goes along with doing that for a day.
It'll be a fun event.
Yeah. It's going to be a blast. Really, we just want an excuse to cook a hog, and we're going to invite the people to help us come pick it. Last year we did it different. We just kind of did a bunch of a favorite stuff. And we kind of just hung out, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of food.
Well, we did a breakfast, we did a mid-morning after breakfast, we did a pre-lunch.
We pretty much feed you as much as you can hold, and beverage.
Yeah, we did. And there's always like a different drink every course.
And it's a small group. I mean, there's going to be 10 people hanging out with us, so it's a good sized crowd to have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So if you're interested, go to HowToBBQRight.com/Palmer. Palmer.
That's right. Help spread the word. What else do we have going?
We also have the state contest in Melbourne, Arkansas, coming up August 13th.
That one's shaping up.
Yeah.
There's constantly people signing up. It's not. It's not.
Did you talk to Shane Lynn?
I did. I kind of got a weekly update of what's going on, and they've added a ton of vendors coming. I guess they're going to have like an area where people are going to be selling probably foods and crafts and stuff like that. That kind of goes with like a little festival feel. But they're doing some other stuff. Someone stepped up, and I want to say it was Jim Hudgens, but don't quote me on that. I think it was Jim Hudgens. Shane told me. I don't know if I was supposed to say that or not, but he has taken it upon himself to pretty much sponsor the kids cook. He said any kid that wants to cook, he's paying for it.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
So what are the kids doing? Pork chop, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, if you've got a kid and you're interested, and they're interested in cooking and they want to get involved with the contest, that's the perfect one. It's not going to cost you anything to enter it. We want the kids to come out and participate, so it's going to be fun. Also, he told me they've kicked around another idea that Arcasipi spoke. Ronald Burns and John Lindsay have stepped up to sponsor like it's a middle of the pack showdown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is going to be like after the contest, they're going to draw 2 random people that finished 11th through how many ever it out.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring them up. They're going to have steaks ready, meats ready, and judges ready. And the middle of the pack people are going to have a showdown to win some cash.
Wow.
And it makes it interesting. It makes you want to go to the awards.
Yeah.
Makes you want to stick around, and see how these guys did. I mean, just because you didn't get in the top 10 don't mean you can't cook a good steak. So you still got a chance to prove it and win some money that day. So
that's
going to be fun.
It's like Iron Chef style?
Kind of. Yeah, the grill's going to be up there hot. You're going to have a prep table. You're going to get, I don't know if you're going to get 1 or 2 steaks, but you're only going to have like 30. I don't even know.
They give you the
set time. Yeah, 30 minutes. No, I think you can use whatever you want.
Oh, you can?
Be ready.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Bring them to the awards with you. Because you might get to cook. You might get They ought to just call it the second chance pot.
Yeah, yeah.
But Shane mentioned they're going to do something to where you can side bet it, and they're going to do this thing to where I don't know if it's like a winner take all side bet.
Oh, you can bet on the Showdown?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
they're going to have
awesome.
it to where they take odds or who's going to win some kind of way, and it's going to
Like a cockfight.
I don't kind of, but the steak fight.
I love it.
So I didn't get. He didn't tell me all the details. It was just this is early stages, but it sounds like it's going to happen. So that's going to be something different at that event that I hadn't seen.
Yeah, that's funny.
And so it might be worth checking out if you're you want to come to the state contest and see what's going on. That's going to be a good one. And it's August the 13th.
August 13th, yeah.
In Melbourne, Arkansas.
Yeah.
You can go to.
Beautiful part of the country.
We're sharing it on our social pages, but it's probably on
SEAcookoffs.com.
.com or
that's where you go sign up. SEA Cookoff.
Okay, that's where you sign up for. I don't know if it had a website.
Just go to their calendar, August 13th. You'll see the link for Townsend.
Or you can go to Townsend Supply Facebook page. I'm sure they got a link to it.
Yeah.
We got a link to it on the community everywhere. So
we went to one state cook-off and we were standing at awards. I was standing by Jamie, and this is one of those big ones. There's 100 people competing in it. And they pulled out a number out of the hat, and they said, okay, who's number, 77th or whatever it was.
That was at the big one in Little Rock.
Yeah, it was the big one in Little Rock. And that person that got 77th, overall, ended up winning this huge prize pack. And I remember Jamie went, I'm so glad that's not me. And then after they listed it off the top 10, he was like, man, I wish I'd have won that.
Wish I'd have won that. It was like an Arctic cooler full of all kinds of beer and stuff.
But
that's probably that's like $500 or $600 prize.
It's not bad for losing a state contest. Yeah.
They used to do them where last place got something, and I was like, I never want to get that. It's just a bottle of booze. Something, last place award. It's like, I don't want to.
I've seen a few of them go unclaimed.
Yeah, unclaimed. That's not me. There's 10 of you here. No, it's not me.
So Father's Day is this weekend.
It is. Now we did I got to kind of pick the recipe I cooked for the last video for it, and that's something that I like to cook whenever I'm serving people. But I wanted some filet, some beef tenderloin smoked, and that's what I went with. That's what you were like. This is what I want for my Father's Day. Yeah. That's why I cooked it. I always think like Father's Day steak. That's immediately I go to. Father's Day, I want a steak, some sort of steak. And I just wasn't feeling ribeye this year. Now, I don't know what I'll be feeling Sunday. I might want a steak.
So you took a beef tenderloin.
I took a whole beef tenderloin, and I
always. This is not like a special tenderloin, right?
I got it at Sam's. Yeah. And I always buy the one that's like PSMO. I guess you call it Pismo. That's what everybody calls it. But it's a Pismo cut, and all that means it's like a whole beef tenderloin. They took off the carcass and put it in a cryovac bag. Hasn't been trimmed. Still has all the silver skin on it. Still, it's still got some work you got to do on it to get it ready to cook. And what I always do is use my hands first and kind of separate it out. You can kind of feel the muscles. It's got like this chain piece of meat that goes up the side. It's on the ends. It kind of doubles over on itself, and you got to kind of work that out. You want that center cut of that beef tenderloin when you're smoking it. Now, don't just throw all this you're taking off away. There's some good meat in there. Usually I'll take the time and trim any fat or sinew off of it, get it up into smaller size pieces, and I use it for stir fry. It makes excellent stir fry. You can do it with vegetables. You can make fajitas with it. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. But know that you want to save all that. You paid a lot of money for beef tenderloin.
You could grind it.
You could grind it.
You could use it for soup, stews.
Throw it in your grind. Whatever you want to do with it, it's great. But it's still good meat.
Yeah, it's really good meat.
So the drop off a whole beef tenderloin is not a lot because a lot of that's usable. So I always just take time, get all the silver skin off, separate all that meat out, make me a pile that I'm going to save for, just call it stew meat, whatever you want to call it, stir fry meat, stew meat. Good stuff. I've made steak sandwiches with it.
Yeah.
It does really good at that.
It really gives you 3 meals because we have trimmings for 2 meals and then beef tenderloin.
And then the beef tenderloin, yeah. And so what you're left with is that Chateaubriand or whatever the big center cut. You like how I say that? Chateaubriand. Makes me sound French, doesn't it?
And I think you say it right.
I think I do. I don't know. That's what I've heard it called. I'm no expert, but that's what it's called. It's that center cut beef tenderloin. Yeah. And that's what I like to smoke. And so it gives really good, you get really good slices out of it. You can slice it thin. You can slice it thick like a filet. It goes great with just about anything. But the reason why I like doing it low and slow on the smoker is because you get such an even cook across it. I mean, there's no, hard gray area. Then you're, soft pink on the inside. You don't get that. When it's cooked nice and slow, it cooks equally from all sides. And it cooks end to end pretty close. I mean, you might have just where it thins down a little bit, it might be a little more done, but most of the time they're pretty solid across the same temperature. And I'll always take them to like 120 internal because it's going to carry over. And so this one, I seasoned it up, kept it really simple. Olive oil on the outside.
Nope. Worcestershire.
Oh, did I say olive oil? I might have put olive oil in the recipe when I wrote it. It's been a week. I don't know. But I did. I used Worcestershire as a binder on this one, just Lee and Parents, and coated the outside with it, seasoned it with some AP, the salt, pepper, garlic, and then hit it with Traeger's Saskatchewan rub. And I started using this on Tenderloin because I was doing venison or my deer backstraps with it. And I really like the flavor that Saskatchewan seasoning gives it. And it gets in a nice dark color, too, on the smoker. But it's got a real garlicky, real peppery flavor. It's got some salt to it.
What if you don't have this? Which the Traeger rubs are really popular. Like I saw them at Kroger.
I've seen them at Kroger. Yeah. If you don't have that one, you could go. I would probably go like TX or something that's it's got some coarse pepper in it. It's got some different seasonings. You could go with steak rub. You got a favorite steak rub? Pretty much, you could use whatever you like. I just like that Saskatchewan on beef tenderloin. It's really good. So once I got it coated with that, it goes on the pit, 250 degrees.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
You said something about olive oil and Worcestershire. Does your binder matter?
No. I've used it all. I've used mustard. I've used mayonnaise. I've used olive oil.
Have you ever used mayonnaise on beef?
Yeah. Not on beef. I've seen people do it. I've seen people use it on steak.
It's just an oil. Yeah, I've seen people use it on steak
it's just a fat.
and chicken.
And so you're really wanting some moisture on the outside of the meat. I like the Worcestershire because it gives it some flavor. It stains it a little bit, so you get a little darker color. So when you're smoking like a beef tenderloin, it's not on the grill a whole long time. So it's not going to develop, like if you just put it on there raw, it's not going to develop a whole lot of that, mahogany look on the outside without some help. Well, the Worcestershire helps with it. The seasonings you put on it helps with it. That's what gives it that color.
So that's one of the reasons you like it.
That's one of the reasons I do it. And that's kind of a steak cooking trick too. If you want to keep your steaks from looking gray when you're cooking them, put a little bit of Worcestershire or something on there that's going to give it a little bit of that.
Or a little kitchen bouquet.
A little kitchen bouquet goes a long way. But it works. It does work.
Have you ever used kitchen bouquet on anything other than a steak?
Yeah, stews and
yeah.
But it works good. I put it in meatloaf, put it on hamburgers.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about
but in the cook-off world, no.
Or on a beef tenderloin or something like that.
I have it, but it would work just the same. I could have used that as a binder too. The only thing with it's got a stronger flavor. I guess it's more concentrated. I have used the kitchen assistant beef base. It's like a little liquid squeeze. But I know you've seen people use them. It's a concentrate that works great too. It gives it a beefy flavor. And actually, I use that
kitchen accomplice.
Kitchen accomplice. What do I call it? Kitchen
assistant.
Kitchen assassin. I knew it's K-A. I knew it's K something.
I was calling it kitchen assassin for a long time.
Yeah. But I used that in the mushrooms I did with this dish, and we'll talk about those in a second. But once I got the beef tenderloin on the pit, I always stick a probe thermometer in the center of it. I kind of measure it to make sure it goes in and kind of go right through the side. That's where I want to watch the internal temperature, dead center. And we just let it rip. 250 degrees. I had just the signature blend. You can use whatever pellet you want. So this one, I used hickory pellets. That's what they said I did in the video. Like I said, it's been. I've cooked a lot of stuff since I did that video.
Yeah, you get out there and you just start cooking.
I just start cooking, yeah. Pour some hickory pellets in it. You can use whatever pellets you want. You want to go signature blend, go signature blend. I think I probably had some Royal Oak pellets in there too.
Yeah, some
just
charcoal.
Because they're mixed in, so I was running them. But I watched that probe, cooked about hour 45, I think it was, Tyler. And it's really, I don't care what time it takes. I go by the probe thermometer.
But if
I set it for 120. If you're going to plan, give yourself 2 hours, but then give yourself a 30-minute rest too. That's all it's going to take at that temp $2.50. So
at Christmas, sometimes you'll let it rest even up to 2 hours.
oh, I've let it rest before. I've let it rest a while, but
It just gets better.
Yeah, it gets better. It really does. So what surprised me this day is when I took it off, I was like, it's going to carry over. So I'm going to stop it at 120. I don't want it to carry over. I mean, I don't want it to get too done because I spent, you spent $65, $75 on this piece of meat. You don't want to overcook it.
Yeah.
And to me, medium rare is perfect. And so 120 sounds like it's way on the rare side, but you got to account for all that heat that's built up, and it's going to carry over. And it was a hot day. I mean, what do y'all think it was? 97 for the high that day?
It was hot.
It was hot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was humid, and I knew being hot, being humid, it's going to cause it to carry over a little further. So I was thinking, it's going to probably go to 127, 128, something like that. Well, we didn't really get caught up in like how long we were letting it rest. We were just kind of watching it and going to see how far it would go.
Yeah.
And it went to 132.
Yeah.
In 30 minutes, but then it never would. Like we gave it we never would go over
It
that.
started coming
Stalled
back
down.
down.
Yeah, it dropped down to 131. So once we saw that peak climb, I was like, that's it. So what that rest tells me, the way it started to drop back down, that heat is fully distributed in that piece of meat because all the heat you got on it, it's not deep inside it. It's on the outside. And what it's doing, stabilizing. So it's letting that moisture cool off that's been pushed out of it or pushed to the outer edges of it. And it's going back inside and taking some of that heat back in it. And that's why you're getting that carryover temp because you're reading at a real cold point, the coldest point inside that meat, dead center. And as that slowly rests and relax and the juices start going back inside, you get the heat climb.
Yeah.
And that's what carries over. So,
Makes sense.
but when you rest it keeps like, there was little juice that come out in the foil when we just had it loosely tinted, but it wasn't a lot.
It was like a fourth of a cup.
Yeah, at the
maybe
most,
a little more.
at the
Yeah.
most. And when I cut it, you noticed all the juice was in the meat. It was not running all over the board. I wasn't losing a bunch. I mean, it was juicy through and through. Now the knife just fell through it, and I cut it if I had to guess, that's probably an 8-ounce fillet.
Yeah.
It was a big solid piece of meat. And man, it was like butter.
It was really good.
God, it was just melt in your mouth. And it had all the flavor. It was from the edge to edge. There was no smoke ring. It was just pretty medium rare pink meat all the way across it. And I mean, if you want it done more than that, hey, cut it like that and throw it back on the pit just a few minutes to let it carry over. But if you take that piece of meat up to 125, 130 before you take it off the pit and then you let it carry over, it's going to be in the medium to medium well range.
Yeah.
And to me, you ruin it.
Like 140.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of it left in the refrigerator. You could go get it right now and it's still melted in your mouth.
Yeah.
And that's been
It
a week.
was.
I mean, it's a week. So it was last Thursday we cooked that, right? Yeah. So it's been a full week. It's probably about the limit of it. I need to do something with the rest of it tonight. So if there's any left, maybe the dog gets it.
So how many people do you think you could feed off that one tenderloin and giving them like the big slices?
6.
6.
Yeah. That's about what I would figure. And if I was cutting that up into a filet size steaks,
like you're gonna
that's
have a
about what I
steak
get out of it. That was I think it was a 5-pound-ish whole beef tenderloin.
Yeah.
So that's about what you get out of them, after you're dropping everything. Because you don't want somebody to get the little end piece. You got to give them a good size steak.
Yeah.
So you're going to get 6 man-sized fillets out of that.
No problem.
No problem.
Yeah.
But where it shines when you're feeding a crowd with it, cut it thin. Like when I serve it for Christmas, when we've got all these other side dishes, probably got another meat or two option. If I,
You usually do. If you do that, you do a nice pork loin too.
and then I serve them both, 1/4-inch thick slices, and you probably feed 16 people off of it doing that.
Yeah.
But you're not going to sit down and eat 8 ounces. If I'm eating a meal, like that's my Father's Day meal, steak, mushrooms, maybe a potato, cold beer, that's a full meal. That piece of meat. But if I've got other stuff, I'm not going to eat 8 ounces of beef.
Yeah.
Like that.
If it's Christmas time,
Yeah,
everybody's
that's
brought a
right.
side dish. And
Yeah, that's right. So you kind of pick and choose how you want to cut it. And that's what I do.
Depending on how you're serving it.
But let's talk about the mushrooms that
Okay.
I went with it. So
I like how you do these mushrooms.
Oh, they're so good.
They're super easy.
So yeah, they're really easy. I just used you could use a cast iron if you wanted to for this one. I just used a half size aluminum pan You throw in 3 pints of slice. If you wanted to do whole mushrooms, you could. I like doing the slice when I'm serving it.
I think
with
the
a
slice,
steak because it comes together as a sauce and it kind of goes over it.
Yeah, and I think they cook better on the pellet grill. It's going to take longer, I think, for
with
the
whole ones,
mushrooms. Yeah.
But so I started with 3 pints of sliced mushrooms. Those were baby bellas sliced up. You could use white buttons if you want. Threw in some garlic. Threw in some shallot, finely chopped. Threw in about half a stick of butter. You could have went a whole stick if you wanted. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings. And
I do a whole stick. I do.
I did about a cup of red wine, a cup of beef broth, just out of the box. Seasoned it up, and then I also used your kitchen assassin.
Kitchen accomplice.
Kitchen accomplice.
For the longest time, I thought it was a picture of a little assassin wearing
it's a little chef's
hat, but it's not.
No, but where do you find that? It's on the beef stock aisle. Wherever you get your stocks and broths and bouillons, it's in a little squeezy bottle. They make chicken, they make beef. They got one that's like for burgers. I mean, they got a bunch of good ones. I highly recommend them.
I do too.
It's like a kick 'em up.
Yeah,
it'll kick up whatever sauce or whatever dish you're making.
Add it to taco meat. Add it to black beans. Add the squirted the kitchen one to our black beans.
I put it in there. I use the chicken all the time too.
Yeah,
they might even have a vegetable one, but
I think they do.
Basically, it's concentrated stock flavor, so it's just an enricher. It's an enhancer, and so that's what it did to the mushrooms.
Soup,
it brings out, it's good.
All of it, yeah.
I put about a tablespoon of that in there. I just eyeballed all this stuff. I didn't measure the wine or the beef broth. I just you don't want them flooded in it, but you want enough liquid so they're going to cook down. And with the butter, the garlic, the shallot, all that liquid in the base, it makes this really good sauce, and you reduce it down on the pit. I put it on the same time, like right beside the beef tenderloin, and just let it cook down and forget it. I mean, you might stir it every time you go in there and look at something, but you don't really have to do anything to it. Yeah. And at the end, you just pour it up and serve it. You can ladle the juice over. Tell you where it's dangerous is some warm French bread dipped off in that mushroom juice.
It's good.
It is so good, but it makes a really good kind of pan gravy, really.
Yeah. Well, one thing you did do when you pulled the, I don't think this made it into the video, but when you pulled the tenderloin off to let it rest, you cranked up the pit just a little higher to let those mushrooms finish off. I just got
it rocking. Yeah. And you can do that one in the oven even. You could do it in a crock pot. You could do it on the stove top.
Yeah.
Anything you can do to reduce it down, because really you want to reduce whatever liquid's in there by half. That's the whole goal. And then soften up all that veg and get all those flavors concentrated. That's all you're doing. And then when you're doing on smoker, you're adding that little bit of smoke element to it. So it gets a little grill flavor going. It goes great with meat.
And you're not messing up the kitchen.
That's right. You're not. Well, you don't get out a bunch of different pots and all this stuff. You're just throwing in an aluminum pot and rolling, or pan and going.
So what do you want for Father's Day?
A lot or two.
Just leave me
alone.
alone.
I'm an easy man. Yeah. Watch some baseball, College World Series. So that's what we're going. We're going to Omaha. Rebels, I told y'all, don't sleep on the Rebels. Last team in. They hadn't lost a game yet. They rocked through the regionals, went all the way through the regionals, won their super regional, dominated super regional. Now they're going to Omaha, and we're going to watch.
We didn't know if we were going to get to it. After last year, Mississippi State won the World Championship, so it looked like so much fun, and Michael got so into it. We're taking our family trip to
our summer vacation, going to Omaha to watch College World Series. Yeah. It's going to be 103 there one day. Sounds like fun, doesn't it?
I know. I was looking at everybody's beach pictures. I'm like, wow.
Why are we going to Nebraska? I've never been to Nebraska. But Omaha's known for steaks, right? We got to get a steak while we're there.
Are they?
We need some recommendations. Anybody's out there listening knows anything about Omaha, send us some recommendations.
Specifically the area.
Yeah, right around where the ballpark, Ameritrade Stadium. It's a Ameritrade Stadium.
Yeah, because we're fun.
And we're staying right there, so we're not gonna we could Uber wherever.
Yeah,
But I hear there's a lot of great food in Omaha, and they're known for their Omaha steaks, and they'll ship those to you. So I'm at least going to have two steaks while I'm there to try to compare.
An old boss shipped me some Omaha steaks one time for Christmas.
Yeah. They weren't bad. I mean, it wasn't, the butcher shop. No. It wasn't Kevin's meat. Speaking of, he's got some deals going on at the butcher shop right now.
Oh, really? What's he got?
He's got like non-comp grade Wagyu briskets with like eating briskets.
Yeah.
On sale. Like, you can get them for $9.99 a pound or something like that.
Really?
Wow. He's got picanha. I saw a post on it on the community a while ago before the podcast, so y'all check it out.
Will it ship those prices, or you got to go in store for those deals?
I think they'll ship them. I mean, you got to pay shipping.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think that price is good. I don't know. Call him and ask. Kevin will work with you.
How's the steak contest going in the community?
Good. It's over. Finished up yesterday. Everything. There was some really, really delicious looking steaks on there.
I looked at some of them. Yeah.
It was crazy. We had I would say there was 2 that were comp steaks that won that were like perfect comp steaks, and then the other one that won was like, I think it was a ribeye steak, and it had a bunch of like grilled zucchini and squash and stuff like that on the side of the plate. It looked.
I like this. Like the sides.
Char grilled, yeah.
We need to do a side contest.
Yeah, who's got the best side recipe?
Send them a sides chick shirt. Do you make those in men's sizes? I mean,
they're unisex.
I'm
Can I get
confident
you
enough
one?
in myself. Yeah,
It'll be a little
I can be a
tight.
sides chick. I mean, they're not like women cut, right? It's called a
unisex shirt. Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're fruity or anything.
No, not at all.
It says chic, not chick. It says chic.
Side chic. You can put the little apostrophe did thing on it with a QUE.
Yeah,
That might be a better way to spell it anyway. Sides chick, like QUE at the end for the chick part.
But anyways, yeah, it's there's lots of good prizes going out. Like he was saying, there's those discounts at the butcher shop. First place gets the $100 butcher shop gift card. How to barbecue right stuff, and we're gonna be rocking a lot more contests in the future. So if y'all aren't already a part of it,
Those are fun.
Yeah, we got to come up with something
And they're easy.
for St. Patrick's Day, for 4th of July.
yeah,
What should 4th of July be? When you think of 4th of July, you think of ribs,
Apple pie, hot dogs.
hot dog. There you go. Best hot dog picture. That'll throw people for a loop.
Nobody's taking pictures of their hot dogs.
You should. You'd probably get in on that one, wouldn't you?
I do. I got some good ones.
Red, white, and blue dog.
Speaking of the community, Sexton, he posted a picture of a cow heart that he cooked.
I saw that. It looked really, really good.
It did.
So Mark and I did a deer heart last year.
How did y'all do the deer heart?
We cut it up into strips and pan
Did you have to clean it really good? Did it require a lot of cleaning?
It's probably the most working muscle on an animal. So it has a lot of these, like, I don't know if you call them cartilage tendons, kind of separates the chambers of the heart, I guess. But it's got these hard gristly pieces to it that we cut off. So you end up with like these 4 lobes and like little steaks kind of. Yeah. And then we sliced those up thin and pan seared them in butter and garlic. And it was just lightly seasoned. And man, they were melting in your mouth. I'm that first time I ever ate heart of any animal.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, but it was really good. So then I saw that beef heart, and he had it cooking up looking like brisket almost.
He said it was similar to brisket, and it had texture like tenderloin.
Really?
He cooked it to a medium.
Yeah.
Is what he said.
I've got to try it. I really do.
I'd love to try it.
I'm game on that one. We'll try it. I haven't tried tongue either, though, and tongue is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, somebody else commented about them cooking cow's tongue and had a picture of it. Yeah. And that's real common. Like, people use it for tacos and stuff. I think it makes a lot of meat.
That's like authentic
Mexican
tacos right there is using beef tongue.
And then I saw somebody post about a pork tongue. And out of all the stuff I've done, I've never heard about a pork tongue.
No. You've ate eyeball before. I've ate
Was it
ears,
eyeball or brain?
Tip of
It was
meat
eyeball
all the
and
time.
brain.
No, you didn't eat brain, did you?
I think so, yeah.
What is? Do y'all know what menudo is?
It's like part of the stomach or something cooked down.
Intestines.
That's the only thing. That's probably the most far-fetched thing I've ever had.
I don't think it's intestines, is it? I think it's like tripe or something like that. Don't get me wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be really good for a hangover, though.
Okay.
Really?
It's a traditional Mexican soup made with cow's stomach in a broth with a red chili pepper base.
Yep, that's the most extreme thing I've ever had.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I think it would probably depend on the preparation and stuff, but it was like really good seasoning.
You gotta have somebody's like grandma make menudo.
Yeah, somebody that's made it a few times before.
Mm-hmm. You're not just gonna go out and stumble upon we'll make this recipe menudo today and it turn out good. You gotta have somebody with some soul knows what they're doing in that.
It's like a really good chili or gumbo.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's kind of what it's like.
I've always heard
Mexican
you need
stew.
to make sure it's cleaned really well.
The stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So when Taco Bell comes out with it, don't eat it.
Don't eat Taco Bell Menudo.
I did make
I need to
pizzas for dinner one
folks
night.
at La Siesta, y'all make I bet you they have something similar. Now I've had what was that soup? It was Mexican hangover soup, but it wasn't menudo that we did. The chef did at Hogs for the Cause one year, and he made it with pig's tails. Like he stewed them down and sous vide them for a long time and got them super braised down soft, and made this soup with it, and they were delicious. And then he deep fried some of those tails after he had like cooked them down for a day, and they were just melting in your mouth.
They were awesome.
Really good.
And then he tossed them in a sauce and he turned them in.
Yeah, I don't think they did.
They did not do well, but they were delicious.
They were good. You got to be adventurous to eat that.
Did you see the video of the lit charcoal grill going down the road? Somebody posted.
I've done that before. I was like, somebody thought that was weird. What's wrong? It's on a mission. He's got a party to be to, an event or something. He ain't just doing that because he likes pulling the trailer around and smoking.
Wasn't the caption, which one of y'all was this?
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
I think that's is that not like super dangerous, like an insurance liability? I
don't know. I mean, if it's locked, I'm sure that may not have had a lock on it, but I mean, I don't see a problem. I don't have a problem with it. If I'm a cop and I see that, it's like, no, I got it. He's all right.
You wouldn't see that and be like, that dude has definitely had a few beers.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't cross my mind. As long as it's going straight and full and got nice blue smoke going.
Pull him over for some ribs, man.
Okay, so would it affect your intake? Like your airflow?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's got to. I'm probably supercharged.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
We've done it with like old hickories where it stabilizes itself. It's got
Yeah.
convection air, so it's not as bad. But I've never done it with just a pipe, pipe pit going down there.
We should do that.
You have to choke it back because as soon as you put all that air to it, it's going to blow ash and stuff everywhere.
How to cook ribs in 2 hours.
That was, don't take my idea. We were going to do You've seen these guys doing these races with these old vehicles. Mark always talks about them. I can't think of it. He's got a YouTube
some
channel.
ranch.
Yeah, Demolition Ranch, I think
Ranch,
it is, or something like that. But they do these endurance races, or they'll just get these old cars and go race them. I said, what if we did that with barbecue grills? And it was like the Rib 400. You had to cook ribs in 4 hours, but you had to be constantly making laps when you come in the pits. That's when you worked on them. We just got to find a racetrack that's going to let us do it. But then we're going to judge you not on where you finish in the race, but how your ribs finished, how good they were.
Well, you got to put into
there's going to be some factor in
factors,
the race too. You got to make that interesting.
You got to
can't just peep all around. I mean, we got to be running. I'm thinking like Ford Rangers, the Danger Ranger Rib Shootout 400. We all got Danger Rangers and smokers that we can pull, and we're just take off. You got to have a pit crew and everything. Some of them's going to be changing tires. Some of them's going to be wrapping ribs. But I need some sponsors to get behind this.
It's not the worst idea you've ever had.
It's not a bad idea at all.
We're going to need some insurance.
Yeah, I don't need that. I want to compete this one.
Yeah, you don't want to organize it.
Yeah. It's going to be a non-liability. Like, you're going to have to sign all kinds of waivers.
Let's get Jay Craig to put it on something.
Yeah.
He'd do it.
I just need to get teamed up with those Demolition Ranch guys or whoever that is. Is that who it is? I don't know if it's Demolition Ranch or who it is, but it's somebody like that.
I don't know.
The guy his sunglasses are from or whatever.
Yeah. Do you know that one?
Yeah, it's like it's like right there, but I can't think of the name of it. But
no, it's not Demolition Ranch. It's Cletus McFarland. Okay. That's who it is. I knew it was something like that. I'm not huge into racing, so I just know the guy bought a racetrack. He does a lot of fun stuff with it.
What kind of racetrack did he buy? Like
it's
big
like
one?
an old oval, NASCAR style track.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it was like a serious
it was
in Florida somewhere.
Oh, okay.
There's an old dirt track for sale down here in Tunica. We could get that one. It's rough. Maybe that's more our speed, dirt track racing.
Yeah.
We're not really pavement guys.
Hey, I just got me a Jeep. I'll check it out. We'll make it happen.
We might do side by sides instead of cars.
I don't know. I like the Danger Ranger. We just need some old Ford Rangers.
This past weekend, you did a rub 'em and run 'em rib.
I did. We went kind of to the deer camp and hung out all weekend. And I got a Blackstone there, and I got a Pellet Grill there. So I wanted to get some videos in. So we did. We did ribs, and I wanted to do them just an eating rib.
My kind of rib. These were my
These
kind
were
of
really
rib.
for you.
Yeah.
I called them rub 'em and run 'ems because that's all I did. I put a little mustard binder on
Pulled a
them.
membrane.
Pulled a membrane, mustard binder, baby back ribs, hot rub only, pretty good dose of it.
Mm-hmm.
And threw them on the pit, 225 for 3 hours on super smoke. And then I cranked it up to about 265. And another 2 hours, they were ready. And
So what was the total cook time? 5?
5. Yeah, there's about 5. I started checking them at about 4.5.
Yeah.
My checking for these rub 'em and run 'em ribs is I pick them up off the rack and I let the weight try to break them. And I kind of flip them over and look at them, and I can kind of tell when the bones pull back, it's starting to disintegrate a little bit. But when the weight of that rib, when you support about half of it and the last quarter of it kind of wants to fall and break, and you can see where it's breaking, that's when you know they're done. If they're straight as a board, they're not done yet. You got to go to where gravity wants to break them, and that's an old pitmaster way of doing it there. Like the Memphis style ribs at Rendezvous, you go see those guys checking the pit, they're picking those ribs up and seeing if they'll break. Yeah, and that's how they check for doneness. So, and that's, I mean, you're not going for looks on these. I'm not trying to win a beauty contest. I'm wanting a rib.
They were beautiful, though.
Oh, they were so good. Like Mikey came down that night and he told me that's the best ribs he's ever had that I've cooked. And I said, "Come on, Mikey, I just put mustard and hot rib on these things."
And a pellet grill.
Yeah, best ever. That hurt my feelings. But they were like, you could sit down and eat these ribs.
Yeah,
there wasn't
a little salty,
there wasn't no
spicy.
sauce to cover up anything. They weren't sweet at all. It was a savory, right salt, right heat. Because they're not. I mean, even though I use hot rub, it's not super spicy.
Yeah,
it's just not a sweet rub. They have beautiful color. I mean, it does have a good color. And they got smoked through and through. You would have never known those were cooked on pellet grill.
So when
you would have thought I cooked them on stick burner.
Yeah.
Because they had all that flavor. They had the look. I mean, they had the smoke taste to them.
That super smoke.
It works on Traeger.
Yeah. So when you pulled them off in the pit, you put them in a pan and covered them for
30 minutes
30
maybe.
minutes, yeah.
We were just watching baseball and having a few beers. But that was it. That's the simplest recipe I can give you to cook a rib. Baby back ribs, take the membrane off, don't trim anything. 1 line of mustard on the back side, rub it in, flip it over, 1 line on the top side, rub it in, season that back side first, medium, season the top side a little medium heavy, throw them on the pit at 225, 3 hours, crank the heat up a little bit, 265, let them go till they break. And it is never fail, rub them and run them ribs. Anybody can do those.
Those
Anybody.
I like put just a little vinegar sauce in my plate and dip them.
Dab them. Yeah.
That's
how
but that's only every other bite, really.
That's how you eat ribs.
I thought
all this
some of the best
covered
ribs
up
too.
with butters and sugars and honeys and glazes and all this stuff. It's fine for competitions. It makes a good picture or a different recipe. But when it comes down to sitting down, eating a good slab of ribs that you smoked, this is with a flavor that I want. It's old school, traditional Memphis style dry rib. That's nothing to it.
We brought the leftovers up here.
They're on the pit warming up right now.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I tossed them up. Yeah, no. There's 2 racks back there as we speak. And the great thing about them is you can wrap them up in foil, if you don't eat them all that same day.
Yeah.
Throw them in the fridge. They're good for a week in the fridge, and these things reheat fantastic.
There's no sauce.
Yeah. You can throw them back, throw them back on the pit wrapped in foil for about 30, 45 minutes. Cut them up individually, throw them in a Ziploc bag, pop them in the microwave. I've done them in the oven. There's, I eat them cold. I ate some of these cold the next day, and they were awesome. We
served them with 3 sides.
Yeah, Michael made beans.
Yeah,
I walked him through just a basic, and they were dang good baked beans.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it was.
No apple pie.
No, these weren't. These were just old school
real
baked
simple,
beans.
Yeah.
They drain 2 cans of beans, throw in a little bit of onion, throw in some bacon that had been kind of pre-cooked a little bit just to take the rawness off of it, just before it starts changing colors. Add some of that bacon grease, and he just cooked the bacon in the skillet.
So why do you? Because when I was growing up, we always just threw the bacon in raw. But you hate that.
Because I like to eat that bacon, and it don't get cooked as good if you just. Some people just take raw strips of bacon, lay it over their beans, and then you end up with this nasty looking, shriveled up bacon that's still real white looking. Reminds me of like pork and bean meat. You know, that old white hunk of pork you get in a can of pork and beans. That's why I don't. But cooked bacon in there. It browns up.
It almost melts.
It melts. You get all that flavor. And when you do get a bite of it, it's not super chewy and raw feeling in your mouth. Doesn't feel like you're eating just fat.
Yeah.
It feels like you're eating a piece of bacon. So
I mean, it makes sense.
So going back to the beans. 1 bottle of barbecue sauce. Use the on sale bottle of your choice. Don't use the expensive stuff.
My personal favorite.
Squirt of mustard. Several dashes of Worcestershire. What's your personal favorite for beans?
Cattleman's, really.
Cattleman's, yeah.
Like Honey Gold, or not Honey Gold, Mississippi Sweet.
I think this was Sweet Baby.
Sweet Baby Ray's is my second favorite.
It's on sale for 97 cents. You buy it. I mean, I don't know how they make the bottles that cheap now.
I don't either.
Yeah, what's the matter with that sauce if they're selling it for 97 cents? I didn't think about that, but it's still pretty good.
Were you the one that told me
high fructose corn syrup? That's the matter with it.
Were you the one that told me that they run that plant making that sauce
360 days a year, something like that? They close it for 4 or 5 days to clean, and that's it. It runs around the clock.
Just
a lot
constant.
of sauce. Yeah, you sell it for $1 a bottle. I guess you got to have a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it had a little brown sugar, had a little honey in them, and that's it for the beans. You threw them in the oven. They didn't go in the pit. They were in the oven for 2 hours.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
And then you made potato salad?
Coleslaw and potato salad.
They were textbook.
Yeah.
What kind of potato salad? White or yellow?
What?
In between.
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
Yeah. She don't do a
it's
straight
not a
up
mustard
slaw, but
it does have
so it's
mustard in
basically
it.
you make a dressing, a potato salad dressing. And it has a squeeze of mustard in it, but not much. But it's primarily like mayo, vinegar, pickle relish.
I didn't have vinegar in there.
You didn't put a splash of
In my coleslaw, I will.
Okay. You didn't in the tater salad?
No.
So where does the vinegar come from? Just the pickle relish and the mustard, a little dab of mustard, and some sugar and some AP, I guess. What else was in it?
I didn't have any sugar in it. It had sweet pickle relish.
Okay.
It's your recipe. Well, it's my recipe on your website.
You make it.
So y'all kind of do the dill and stuff, so it's like Southern style.
I didn't have my side chic shirt on that day. So I had my Rub 'em and Run 'em shirt on.
The key to a good potato salad is to get a good potato and don't overcook them. You got to get them just to that right spot so that they
don't
hold together, but they're still tender.
Yeah. You use the little baby new potatoes, quartered and boiled a little bit.
Never thought about using that. That's a great idea.
They're really good. The texture of the potato is good. It's not a big starchy potato.
So that
makes all the difference to me, potato salad.
It's red potatoes, mayo, hard-boiled eggs that have been grated, mustard, sweet pickles, a little bit of green onions, a little bit of celery, AP for your seasoning. That's pretty much all I use for seasoning. And then to garnish, if you want to get real fancy, throw a little cooked bacon on top.
We didn't do that day.
See, that's kind of like we do loaded potato salad. So that's just like cheese, mayonnaise, sour cream, green onion, like all those flavors, but cold. And it's, that's how we usually make it. But I think that's more of like a northern potato salad, quote unquote.
I've had
ours
that
is
one. And it's good. I don't.
When you add the pickle relish, the eggs, the celery, and all that, it kind of turns into that Southern salad. Like people use that base for all kinds of salads. It goes in chicken salad. It goes in egg salad. It doesn't matter as long as you got pickle relish, eggs, celery, onion, mayonnaise. That's the base.
That's what makes it so
That's
good.
traditional Southern potato salad.
And then the coleslaws.
Yeah.
That's
you could substitute potatoes for elbow macaroni. You got macaroni salad.
yeah.
It's good too. It's a lot of substitutions there. I think that'll work.
But the coleslaw is just your basic coleslaw. Bag of shredded cabbage, mayonnaise, vinegar, sugar.
You mix it up as a dressing too. So that's the whole trick with all these. You make your dressing in a bowl on the side and get it the right flavor, and you season it and you taste it. Then you mix it with whatever your main thing is, your cabbage for your slaw mix. You mix the dry with the wet, or the potatoes in the other dish.
Or your noodles, vegetables, whatever you want.
That's right. But on potato salad, the key is don't overstir it. You want it to get a little bit of the mash, but not like soupy. Like
you can fold it.
Yeah, if you stir it too much, it just all goes to this one like whipped potato consistency, and it's not good. You want chunks of the potato in it to be perfect texture.
Now got me one potato.
And it's good the next day. We should have brought the rest of it. There was some more of it too.
Yeah, there was. I've been eating on that.
Potato salad's something that's like a fine art, Tyler. You don't joke around with potato salad.
You think all sides are fine art?
They are.
I agree with you though, because like, so my idea of meal prep is making a big old bowl of pasta salad and then eating it throughout the week. Like I can do that all the time.
Oh man, the Tuscan.
Yeah.
Have you made that Tuscan pasta salad yet?
I don't think so.
Good.
It's got spinach and feta and
sun-dried
tomatoes, and it's really, really good.
Olives.
I might have to try that when I get
Olives, yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
So we didn't film this week because it is hot.
Yeah. Hades hot. Like, our heat indexes are over 110. We did do 2 other videos on the Blackstone while we were in Senatobia.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about those?
Yeah, we did breakfast tacos and
nacho cheesesteaks.
Nacho cheesesteaks.
That was my favorite recipe I did.
What's a nacho cheesesteak?
It's a take on a Philly cheesesteak, kind of Mexican flavored style. I bought several packs of that thinly shaved beef or like cheesesteaks at Kroger, and seasoned it with Grande Gringo, melted butter, spread it out on the Blackstone. Then I took about 2 pounds of chorizo sausage right beside it and started browning that up on the Blackstone. And then when they got done, I kind of combined them together. Well, I also did some vegetables because you got to have peppers and onions when you do cheesesteak, right? So we thinly sliced up some green bell pepper and onion, and then I did 2 jalapenos in there. So you had slivers of the jalapeno too. Mixed all that up, and then I went to Sam's and bought these 12-inch sub rolls. Split them open, brushed them with butter, laid them flat on the Blackstone so they kind of toasted just a little bit. And then when I got ready to make the sandwich, I lined up the meat and the vegetables, kind of mixed it all up and made it as long as the bread, and then laid pepper jack cheese over it. So it was this mound. It looked like a torpedo of meat and cheese and vegetables. And I put the bread over that and let it cook a little bit, and then used my spatula to kind of flip it over and stuff whatever fell out, come back in. And the whole time I had a tub of nacho cheese over here on the side of the Blackstone getting warm. And Shell had doctored it up a little. It was
just a little milk
and
jalapeno juice.
Yeah, jalapeno juice. Yeah, it was just nacho cheese.
Just to help thin it down.
And then I ladled that nacho cheese all over that sandwich. And you talk about a nacho cheesesteak, you ought to sell that one. It ought to be on menus everywhere.
It was really good.
I couldn't find anything on making a nacho cheesesteak. There was cheesesteak nachos.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cheesesteak nachos.
I did
why
find
not
some
nacho cheesesteak?
Mexican style cheesesteak recipes.
Well, this one was
ain't no way it was like
easy.
That.
Yeah, dude, it was amazing. You couldn't eat the whole thing.
I like how you called it a meat tornado or torpedo.
Well, I made
because it really
3 of them. I made you one, me one, and Michael one, and we ate one. We had 2 left over, and we just kind of ate those for lunch as the week went on. But it warmed up great, and I had a ton of meat left over too, so you could use that for tacos or whatever.
I can't miss TikTok day anymore.
That one was a good one. I think I got to get a Blackstone for the house.
Yeah,
they're so much fun to cook on.
I enjoy cooking on, and they're a lot easier to clean than I would have originally thought.
Yeah, there's nothing to them. I think the biggest thing to them is just keeping them covered because it keeps leaves and debris and dust from getting on it. When you come out there, you take the cover off, you heat it up, heat it with a little water, wipe it back down, oil it again. You're ready to go. It doesn't.
And clean it as soon as you get done.
Clean it as soon as you get done. Let it cool off and cover it right back up.
It's really easy if it's hot.
If
it's easy to clean.
It is. Nothing to them. Then the next morning, I did breakfast tacos. Hopefully that's going to be a TikTok too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was along kind of the same line as the cheesesteak a little bit, because I took just a pound of regular breakfast sausage, seasoned it with a little bit of Grande Gringo. I did some more onions, jalapeno, and green bell pepper, but this time we chopped them up really fine. And then I did.
Yeah, for the cheesesteak, they were more strips.
It's like fajita. Yeah. But these were like fine because I wanted to mix it in. So it was like breakfast sausage seasoned with Grande Gringo or Mexican seasoning, the vegetables, and then I scrambled some eggs. It was like 6 or 7 eggs, and then when the eggs got done, I hit them with a bunch of cheese, like shredded cheese, and mixed it up. And then I combined the meat, the vegetables, and the eggs, kind of pushed it over to the side and started working on my tortillas. So I took just like fajita-sized flour tortillas, butter on the Blackstone, flipped them, 15, 20 seconds, flipped that tortilla. Then I started loading on my eggs and sausage and pepper mixture, put that on there, put a little more cheese on it, just shredded cheese this time, and folded it up. And then cooked them kind of like a grilled taco, I guess it would say, because it kind of got brown on both sides and they got crispy. And so you had this hot, cheesy sausage mixture inside, crispy on the outside. We served it up with some pico, a little hot sauce, and they were sour cream to dip it in. That was a good breakfast taco.
It was very, very good.
And is that going to be a TikTok?
Yes.
So if it's not, I'm going to have to do a YouTube or something of it because it was really good.
Yeah.
Really
and they were, man, you want to feed a bunch of people breakfast easy? That's the ticket.
We had so many. I mean, it was
I made 20.
Us. Yeah.
20 breakfast tacos in a matter of, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
We had so many breakfast tacos left over.
By the time you eat 2 of them, you're full.
Yeah.
You know? So those were lunch this week, too. We meal prepped over the weekend. Didn't even know it.
Yeah. So, anyway, we didn't film this week.
No.
Well, the flies are ridiculous.
Yeah. This is that time of year. It's hot. It's break time. It's time for vacation. It's time to go to the ballpark. What are you looking forward to ballpark food? Before we go, we're about to wrap this up, but when you think of ballpark, is there certain things you're going to?
Again?
Yeah, you can have nachos. I don't think they're going to have barbecue nachos in Omaha.
No, that's fine. I want regular nachos.
Like with jalapenos, and that's it? Nacho cheese.
In the
chips,
plastic
jalapeno.
tray.
Okay. Old school.
Yeah, I love it.
What about hot dogs?
Love hot dogs. Hamburgers.
I don't eat hamburgers at the ballpark.
Yeah.
It's hot dogs.
I just got excited.
Peanuts, popcorn, hot dogs. I don't know where the Cracker Jacks came from, but you don't see those anymore.
Yeah. We didn't see them.
I'm going to get some peanuts, and I'm probably going to get a hot dog. That's what I'm looking forward to. And
a big beer.
Plethora is all I can say. Have a plethora of big beers.
I'm just hoping.
Have a plethora.
I'm hoping that Nebraska 103 is a lot different than Mississippi 103.
Oh, it will be. Yeah.
Like
Nebraska
dry.
103 is going to be like a Mississippi 80.
It's like
right now, it's probably 93 outside right now here. Oh, you can go cook on the parking lot right outside.
Well, it's like when we went to Vegas that time, everybody was like, "Oh, it's so
hottest
hot."
It's ever been in Vegas in May. It's like 102 or something like that. No, it might have been hotter than that.
It was 102, 103.
This ain't even hot.
Yeah, I was like, this is pretty pleasant out here, especially if you got in the shade.
Dry heat will just like slowly cook you. Like you don't realize it's so hot, and like your skin is burning crazy. It's like that's how it is in Arizona. Anyways, was like 120. But
Dude, it's 90 here. It's like God, I don't even want to be outside.
You can't even breathe.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So videos coming up, we'll have to break out the Vitamix. It's going to be all involved in ice of something.
We might have to be filming inside.
We'll figure out some stuff. It might be a good time to do some sides.
Last week.
Quick stuff. I usually do quick stuff in the summer. Stuff that I can grill fast and do it late in the evening, right before it gets dark. So it doesn't wear you out as bad. I'm still going to do some long cooks. I'm just going to do them overnight.
Put it on,
I got to cook. I'm cooking ribs and brisket this weekend, probably for my dad. He wants a smoked roast. So I'm probably going to do
like a pot roast.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to do brisket pot roast style. I've got a nice Wagyu flat in the freezer. I'm going to throw it out, and then I'm going to do it with some vegetables and make it like a brown gravy, kind of like I did a video on it not too long ago. We're going to do that.
You did an Easter brisket.
Yeah, it's going to be like a lot like that, except I'm going to add more vegetables and stuff.
Yeah, potatoes, carrots.
And then my mom's doing sides, like stuff my dad likes. So we're going to bring the meat.
I don't have you anything for Father's Day.
You've gave me enough, baby. I'm not your dad.
Yeah, that's what you say at Mother's Day. You're not my mom.
Michael's supposed to get me something.
Yeah.
If I get a card, I'll be lucky.
I did remind him. He goes, That's this weekend.
I don't think it means as much to kids anymore. Like,
I guess when you get older.
I used to. I remember when I was a kid, it was Mother's and Father's Day. I loved making my parents something or getting. They would have these little things at school where you could buy stuff. I remember one year I gave my dad like a rabbit's foot. You ever seen these rabbit's foot keychains? He kept it on his truck until I was grown, you know. But yeah.
Okay, gift idea.
A rabbit's foot.
Rabbit's feet.
Think they still sell those rabbit's foot keychains?
I don't
It used to be all the
know.
rage.
I'm sure it's like one of those like shady gas stations.
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
that they sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It'd
haven't
probably
seen
be
one
fake.
in a long time.
Yeah. Well, Malc, that's all I have for today.
Well, that's all I got too, Shell. Everybody have a happy Father's Day this weekend.
Yeah, happy Father's
Give your
Day.
dad a big hug and leave him alone. Tyler, is there anything else you got?
Hey, if you're listening to this on the YouTube channel for the How to Barbecue Right podcast, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you guys are notified. We do podcast clips twice a week, and you have the main channel the main podcast episode that goes live once a week.
Well, great. Shell, where can they find us?
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
Hey, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Anybody's in Omaha, y'all look for us. I'm going to be there next week. Go Rebels. We'll see y'all next time. We gone.